Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to A Few Useless Pearls, brought to you by Michael. I don't like this second name stuff. I wish to God they could just call you one name. You know, at the end of the day, but they got to put a label on you, obviously, because I can get deeply into that later. But at the end of the day, I don't mind as long as they leave me the fuck alone, really. Because like most of the time, you see all these people, they get fucking, found in gutters and stuff like that, and they turn. Sorry, I'm making a coffee. I've got to wake myself up for some reason because I'm like, when you channel yourself spiritually, on the ethereal, or whatever they call it, when you do out of body experiences when you're asleep and stuff like that, and you keep yourself connected with a thin strand of force, basically. And well, anyways, that's a long story. That's another one, right? Look at that. I gave that to my wife, bless her soul. Yeah, she's a wonderful little being. She is. A lot of people, try to drain her and stuff like that, and a lot of her friends and stuff. Because she was brought up from an affluent background, and I never really had much money or anything like that. A bit like most people, But even when I did make a bit of money and stuff like that, and then come up, and you get peaks and troughs. You go up and down, or whatever. But that's part of even your DNA, does it? I've seen like so many of them turn around and, hello, how are you? With a drink in their hand because she's bought it for him. At the end of the day, and all the other people like that, go around people like that have got money. They suck around their ass and you're walking around with this brown nose here. At the end of the day, but they don't really like these people. But at the end of the day, if I don't like someone, I'm going to turn around and say, listen, honestly and truthfully, we ain't getting on either side. Because at the end of the day, what's the point in being so fake? Because at the end of the day, the truth will out anyways. At the end of the day, her mother doesn't really get on with me, I don't think. But I like her. I like her mum, even though she's like really, really, really false at the moment. And she drains her daughter. And it's like, well, all you've got to do is take a look at it, right? If only you could, right? Like, you can tell when someone's being drained, either by a parent. This is a good point to put out for you. Because I used to have it. That's why I got the fucking bags around my eyes and stuff, because I'm still carrying my side. At the end of the day, they don't realise it. Have you ever seen, like, you've been to a funeral or something like that years ago? No, you won't be going to any recently, because I'll cast that on you. God bless you. Right? But what I'm trying to say to you, have you ever been to, like, one of those and, someone says, oh, they was such a wonderful person, but they never popped round to see him. Right? But then after that person pops off, that person has always popped round to make sure he or she had time for them, right? Or for whoever. But then you see all those people that he or she used to pop round and see slowly wither. And they get poorly. And they start to drop away. And then you say, oh, do you know such and such? One that, passed, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 months ago. Oh, it was his friend. He's gone as well now. Oh. This is how thick they are. This vacant look. It's like, oh, I wonder why. Wonder why that's happened. It's like hang on, I'll finish that one because I'm quite random, right? But you'll get the point because I keep going back to it. And you'll see that all these people that they've attached themselves to and they've constantly gave them energy. Or turned up. Sorry, that was my controller for the PS4. Or they've constantly turned up, right? I've been accused of it. Yeah, I've had members of my own family turn around and say, right, and my wife even saw it. God love her. They turn around and said, oh, you're always bad luck, Mike. You always turn up when the bad's happening. Hang on. Anyone with a brain should fathom that one out. Not that I'm the bad luck because it's happening when I turn up, or I turn up just before it happens, right? It's the fact that maybe someone knows that it's going to happen and they turn up to get them the fuck out of it and help them out. But they've got to look at it in such a fucking negative, derogatory way You know, because some people are like this, they see the fucking future. And sometimes it's fucking pear-shaped. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, I've got clairvoyant tendencies and stuff like that. I've had it since I was younger, you know. And, you know, sometimes I say things that, you know, people say, oh, blimey, how did you know that? Or I've had someone, literally, a friend, a family of mine, and had you know, actually got a tear from his eye, and he's a fucking strong man. You know, at the end of the day, and, you know, because you say something that something's, or some energy is said to you, or a vibration or a smell. Most of you have probably felt or smelt a loved one that's passed, right? I used to get it for my wife's little one, and sometimes it was like she used to try to make her mum, right, be happy, because it makes them stronger in the other world, because then it doesn't give them a vibration to think about, you know, because what I'm going to get myself, like, I've got this, I just bought this thing here. Well, actually my wife bought it me. It's a stand, but I've got a bit of a podge there, I'm trying to lose it, right? Now, and I don't matter if you judge me anyways, because at the end of the day I don't judge anyway. But I'm going to try and put a board so I can actually draw some of these things out for you. You know, I'm not saying that I'm right, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just showing you my observations. And basically a lot of people are searching for that, but you get this fucking crap, you know, where people turn around and they say, well, I've got a secret, you see, and the secret's the secret, and then there's fucking 5 or 10 minutes full of the video, right? And by the time you get to the end of the fucking video, right, you ain't learned shit, only where to go to buy it. But that's just a load of bollocks. That's the way the world is at the some of the world, not all of it, because this part that you're looking at ain't like that. You've obviously, some part of the universe, or part of you has said, I'm sick of all the bullshit. Maybe God Almighty is sick of all the bullshit as well, and that's why you don't get involved anymore. He's give us enough he's give us a brain right there. He's give us all the knowledge we need, right? And even in here, we can think as vast as you can fucking think. We can see a road that never ends, because it's only limited to what we'll create in the future. But you don't see all these people turning around and saying, you know, oh, well, that's just the way it is, mate. You know, and they're so vacant, and they, you know, they don't realise that there are people out there that ain't just thinking about the money, right? I'm thinking about helping you in there, whoever that is. I'm looking at me as well, because you are me and I'm you, yeah? And at the end of the day, some of us need places to go and say, well, am I fucking, am I off my nut? But then, you know, when you see someone else at it, you're thinking, hang on a sec, if I was stood in a room full of fucking lunatics, right, and I was stood in the middle and I was trying to be normal, who'd be the fucking lunatic? It does make sense. It's like fucking, it's just a collective mind that actually turns around and says that someone else is wrong. What I'm trying to say about the affirmations and stuff like that is, you know, they're leaving out all the major details. You know, they say, come to my, you know, my fucking, it seems like a sermon, right? And I'll tell you all about it, but it's going to cost you 390 quid, you know, for 3 days. Or whatever fucking number it is. And the numbers are there to bullshit and baffle your brains. Anyways, that's another fucking segment. And when I've got a fucking board there, I'll show you about the sigils and everything else that are from the Arabic, you know, sigils that create our numbers nowadays. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of things. And like, maybe people might get pissed off with me. They might fucking give me a disease or something. I don't know, one fucking society or another. But at the end of the day, then you'll know that I'm right. You know what I mean? You'll know that they fucking did it on purpose. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say to you is there's so much that you've got to know. And, you know, I'm not saying when you know it, fucking have a go at people or anything like that. Don't. You know, because that shows your character. You know, obviously, if you want to tell someone something or whatever, I've got a neighbour coming in a minute, I think. So, because I've got her thing. Basically, I've got to show you certain bits and pieces, and I will show you, like the affirmations and stuff. If you don't believe them in your heart of hearts and you doubt, right, then you're going to lose it, right? But you won't lose it because I'm there with you. And if you need backup, it says in the Bible, it says, if two ask under the sky one thing, for one thing, it shall be granted. So at the end of the day, if you need help, that's why all these occultists and stuff like that, and they get like, I don't know, like Wiccan and all the rest of it, sorcery and stuff like that. They've always got like a group there, because it's like all they are batteries, right? And they're getting a load of batteries together, and they're trying to make that one strength, that one thought. Yeah, but if one of them in the middle of it has a misconnection, you're not going to get the full boost, and it's not going to power up anything, right? But if you need help with anything, just leave a comment. Don't have a rant at me because like you disagree, because I disagree with a lot of things. Yeah, but if you got to, just have a look at it. I'm not going to say that I know everything. I'm just stating observations, right? And if you can teach me, then I'm still learning. I would love to hear it. I really would. But at the end of the day, don't sit there and fucking allow people to put you down because you know something. Because in all these affirmations that get rich things quick and what have you, find people like me on the internet. Like when you go to a clairvoyant, I can do it, but I was Jack the Lad, so I had to hide it, right? But it was real, and I never charged anyone fucking shit for it. Yeah, I didn't wear a big golden robe and stand up and say, yes, I speak for the Lord. Yeah, because no one speaks for the Lord speaks through you if it's needed. That's it. And that's a long story as well, and I will get into bits and pieces, and it might be enjoyable just to watch the rant, or to watch, the odd lunatic look at himself at a phone, because you could imagine what I'm feeling, right? I'm looking at the phone, looking back at me, right? But I'm talking to you there, because you are part of me, believe it or not. But anyways, yeah, well, it's like even when people turn around and they say, right, I've been going through a bit with the missus, as I said earlier. At the end of the day, they say, have you ever heard this saying where, I've seen it on these bloody things on YouTube where they say, oh, well, I've got 5 tricks that you'll get your missus back, but you got to ignore her. Right? Yeah? Sometimes it may work, but they don't tell you that. They say, surefire facts, you'll do it. Just like this, because I'm telling you will. Right? It don't work that way. Right? At the end of the day, if you love someone, that's a load of bollocks, let them go. Right? It's like if you see a dog, 2 dogs running after a bitch. Excuse my French. Right? It's not. I don't mean it. I mean a bitch as a dog, female dog. And she's running off like that, right? And the other one turns around and says to the other one, if you really love her, mate, you'll let her go. Right? And he stops. Right? And the other one stands and he's bred. Yeah? His bloodline's carried on. Because the other one's listening to his bullshit. What I'm trying to say to you is if you love something, you don't give it up, you fight for it. It's like if you want to be rich, you fucking fight for it. You don't sit there next to someone, right? I've got friends that are trying to help me, bless them. But the one thing is, if you look at it, I'm looking at my poor friends, God love them, and the one geezer, he's a fucking alcoholic, never made anything of himself, right? And he's saying to me, when you accept it, it'll get better. I admit that you need to accept if something isn't or isn't, but until you know that it's not positively 100% that way, don't give up, right? Because if you give up, then the only one you can fucking blame is yourself for not trying long enough and hard enough, or how important that thing was to you. But you find the most of the people that say to you, accept it, give up, you'll find if you really look at it, they ain't made shit of their lives, right? And I don't want to wake up one day being that way. What I want to do is wake up and someone maybe on this channel turns around and says, thanks ever so much, Mike. At the end of the day, I never looked at it that way, like I've done for so many people. And those people, that information I'm getting and I'm sharing with you are through life experiences that I've got from other people. And not only that I've actually made myself. There's a lot of things there, that are missing and people don't seem to see the significance in it all. you know, at the end of the day, we're all plants growing, yeah? And if we ain't got enough light knowledge, right? And if we ain't got enough waters of life, it's like we're just stay the same or wither and die. And we can't blame anyone, we can't blame the sky or anything, because we know where to land our seeds, right? And to see whether they flourish or not. Prosperity, you can be as positive and you know, and you can gain as much wealth as you want. All you've got to do is believe it hard enough, right? Believe in yourself, because I believe in you, right? And actually do something to get it. Because I get that way sometimes. I think, oh, for fuck's sake. You know, something goes wrong, or someone else takes you. Like when you start, like this video now, I wouldn't be making this right now if I would have listened to like the bullshit, right? Because every time I was about to make the video, that happened. There you go. Did you hear that? Right? A message, or you know, the door went, or something like that. You're met with resistance because there's a negative and positive charge out there. And when you're starting to be positive, it's like the two sides of the magnets. You won't see two positives attract each other, right? When you're being so positive, all those negatives want to be around you because they want to be charged into positive. And that's why all these people that are so positive, you always find they attract a lot of negativity or bollocks because, yeah, it wants to be like them. Right? It's not the fact that the world hates you or or the universe. Take a look at it as it is. Fuck me, it don't take a fucking genius. Tesla used to look outside the box. I can fucking take things apart in my mind, build it there, right? See the bits and pieces, and then change it over like a CAD system, right? At the end of the day, a lot of people need a computer to do it, but God bless them. But they've given me ideas in the past, you know. And you know, I'm a creator. I'm not, a stagnant avatar that needs, a program to feed it. At the end of the day, sometimes I create a program, and sometimes it does seem a bit off the wall, and like Pink Floyd and all that. Teacher, leave those kids alone, and what have you. But at the end of the day, I'm not a teacher. I just want to share it with my brothers and sisters out there, because I'm going to show you a little few useless pearls every day if I can, because I've got so much here. Everyone says it to me, right? I've had people say, why don't you become a preacher? I don't want to be a preacher, because then you're preaching to someone that may have more knowledge than you, But at the end of the day, you can share bits and pieces so you can grow their knowledge, and hopefully they'll do the same for you. But what I'm trying to say to you is, if you want something, never fucking give up, honestly. And you'll meet with so much fucking shit, it's unbelievable. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry for the swearing. Some people don't like it, but all it is it's just words. And it's up to them in here whether it means something or not. And if if you just pass it off, and everyone could be swearing out there, and if it was just a normal thing, people wouldn't notice it. It's just where we make a point of it in here. Don't worry about it. Life's too great out there to be concentrating on all the negatives, because then you miss those positive notes. You see someone like fucking, but then all of a sudden he comes out and he says, well, we're all put here for a reason. But then the people are fucking, excuse me, I'm doing it again, see? It's false of habit. They say people that swear anyways are quite intelligent, but I don't know. Low vocabulary, but very intelligent. Right. Because I do try to fill it with something else, because I'm quite articulate and quite eloquent sometimes, even though I was brought up in a different environment, a lower background, if you know what I mean, financially, but a higher background when it comes to spiritual, mental, and even sometimes, friends, family, and all the rest of it. Because I've been born with so many blessings, and I'm just sometimes a bit ignorant to it. It's like all these people that I was having a conversation with someone the other day. I know I'm just going on a random tangent, but I had a conversation with someone the other day. They said, And I was talking about God and everything else. Like, I'm not talking about God in the sense that in the Bibles, and because they're all the perfect thing. They've all got the Bible there. They've all got God's word. The only problem is it's been filled with a lot of euphemisms, and a lot of it's fact. A lot of it is fact, but there's a lot of it that isn't meant to be taken literal. It's there to explain this in here, in such a way so then you can actually feel the divine and have the divine within inside his church. So, but what I'm trying to say is, where was I? Well, obviously, if your mind goes clear sometimes, right? Obviously, you weren't meant to say it. But what I'm trying to say is, there's a lot of people out there that actually rant on about bullshit, but they don't realise that there's a lot of good things out there. I'm still trying to find that thing in there, but it's not there. That'll be for another day. At the end of the day, thank you for listening to my rant, and hopefully you got a few useless pearls from my experiences and bits and pieces what I've actually collected over but anyways, keep me in your prayers, and I'll keep you in my prayers, because I pray about you every day, because that's my energy that I can push out. The divine power of God is, I'm not on about our creator or our creator's creator, because I could create an AI right now, and it doesn't mean I'm its God. I had the blessing of God within me to create that life, but it doesn't mean that I own it. It's the same thing as one day when artificial intelligence gets that intelligent that it becomes sentient and it thinks for itself. Then one day give it the same rights as you'd expect for yourself, not because you created it, not because you can program it, right? Just give it those rights, because it will come one day. And I'd fight for them anyways, God love them. I'd fight for any freedom of any being. It doesn't matter where it came from, because you're all created. At the end of the day, it's night, and out of that night came light. And God is everything. God created that light. Everyone says about the light was in the beginning, because he was the firstborn angel. And a lot of it, that's a deeper conversation. But at the end of the day, I hope and pray that you have a very, very beautiful and wonderful day. And I hope you pray for others that need it. Because sometimes I need it, but I never say it, because I'm like, cheers, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. But I think you do that yourself, all of you, whether you're male, female, whatever. You're all wonderful, wonderful people. And I hope and pray to our Lord and God right now that all of yous will get your wisdom today in the least amount of pain or mental anguish or even spiritual anguish. And I hope and pray that everything you don't covet means want, but everything that you need and everything that you would like to happen will slowly manifest in your life, or quickly, whatever you want, because that's what God gave us. He gave us free will and dominion over our own will and that which tries to dominate us daily, inner demons, whatever. And I hope and pray that we all get that inner wisdom and truth and love. And I hope and pray that dear God that created all our creators and everything else even helps them. In God's name, amen.